Today we're going to do something a little bit different and brand new. I have here a Granberg chainsaw mill. This is their 30-inch mill. This is not sponsored. I purchased this thing and now we're going to pop it open, get it assembled, and see if we can mill up some logs. First, I'm going to pop the box open and we'll just get all the pieces out and take a look at it. Everything appears to be packaged really well. It's kind of in this little shrink-wrapped vacuum bag thingy. So I'm not going to do a super detailed assembly process because, well, I'm just going to be reading the instruction book, but I will kind of give you some tips and things along the way if something comes up. Please retain this information for your records. So our first step is to attach these brackets to these guide pieces using lock washers and these Allen head bolts. My kit was missing 2 of these washers right off the bat, so luckily I had a couple on hand. Since these pieces are aluminum, I'm going to use a little bit of Never Seez just to make sure that I don't get any sort of corrosion or anything between the bolts and the aluminum. I just don't feel like dealing with that. Apparently those aren't not the right lock washers, and I wasn't really missing 2. The kit has these teensy lock washers in there. That's for these. So I retract my previous statement about missing some lock washers. I was not.
This goes together a lot better with the right size washers.
Now we're going to assemble the handle. This takes 2 carriage bolts that slide into this little piece of channel. This little dude goes on there. This little dude goes there. Then we put a lock washer. This side gets a lock washer and a regular lock nut. If my hands will work. They're a little chilly right now. There we go. I'm not going to tighten that down all the way. I don't know exactly if it's positioned correctly yet. Rails. Now the instructions say at this point to make sure this is nice and square. I'm gonna wait. That may or may not be the right move here, but I want to get everything secured so that it can't wobble around. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Now we will add these side brackets. This, I believe, is going to be the part where I'm going to be able to square everything up. I feel like trying to square that before you get everything else together, I don't know how well that would work out. I'm sure it can be done, or otherwise they wouldn't really put it in the instructions, but I think it's going to be a little easier to square up. Just using a flat washer and a lock washer according to the instructions. I got to put the handle on, but when we install these brackets, you tighten those down and you can't get the handle on. Not a big deal. Just loosen the bolts back up with a little screwdriver. Pry this up just a little so you can get that guy in there. There we go. And we can snug this guy back down. I'm excited to get this together. Really excited.
Next we install the U-bolts. But where do they go?
Oh, through there. Gotcha. All right. They go through the sides here with some flat washers. Some coupling nuts.
Now it's on to assembling the pieces that clamp to the bar of the chainsaw.
I'm not going to tighten this down yet because this is where the piece clamps onto your saw bar.
The piece that clamps to the end of the chainsaw bar is almost exactly the same, except it has this little safety cover. And now I can install these two adjustable pieces into the main portion of the mill. And if any of you are familiar with these mills, you'll already know that I forgot a piece here. I haven't quite discovered that yet.
We've got this handle to install. Somehow.
I ended up having to use a hammer to tap this handle down on. And now I'll grab a machinist square and square up the entire frame. It seems to pass the old shake test. And now it's at this point that I realized I forgot to put a piece on that goes around these U-bolts. So I just pull them back off, put the piece on, and retighten it. And now I can insert the saw. It's important to adjust the sliding portion of the mill so that when you clamp the bar down, it doesn't pinch the sprocket. Now we can just tighten up both of the clamps on the bar, and this thing's ready for a test run. For the test run, I'll just screw a small piece of 2x4 to a log to act as a straight edge.
Just about ready to fire this up, and I realized I've got this bar flipped around. These are supposed to be on the other side, so I need to pull the saw back out of here, pull this piece out, flip it around, and put it all back in. So hold please while I do that. I really kind of wish these bolts went up from the other side so you didn't have to try to do this working around the chain. It'd be nice if you could just go from right here to tighten those bolts. I don't like that part. Ow, see, you hit the chain and it's sharp. Well, that's cute. Huh. Another idea for that too. Here's a little modification I'm gonna do right away. These things kind of just flop in there. I'm gonna cut a couple little pieces of this spring to fit in between there, so that way it'll press these apart when you loosen them.
I feel like these bolts could be one size longer. When the clamp is loose, there's barely any threads engaged, so I think I'm gonna get some longer bolts as well.
Oh yeah, I already like that a lot better.
After turning that guide bar around so it's installed the proper way, I can just reinstall the saw, clamp it down, and now let's do a test cut. And I'll do one quick visual inspection just to make sure I don't see anything loose. I have a lot of learning to do as far as technique, but I feel like this first cut went really well.
Cool. That's not bad. Very first cut. Well, here's the second cut. Everything seems to be pretty flat right now. Still, I can tell there's some technique that I have to learn a little bit when guiding the saw through there. This Husqvarna 372, man, not sponsored, but that is quite the saw. I am really glad to have that one. It's got plenty of power. I need to get a little bit more practice with sharpening the chains, but that's gonna come over time. I can do it pretty well, but I need to fine tune that a little bit, especially now because I've got a lot of milling to do. I've seen that there's ripping chains that you can get for this sort of application. I've seen mixed reviews on it. Some people love it. Some people say it doesn't make much of a difference. I can't speak for that. I've never used it, but I can say that it does seem like it's gonna be a fair amount of work still just working the saw through there. Some of that may come down to the sharpening. I'm not sure yet. Again, this is really my first cut ever with an Alaskan chainsaw mill. So I'm going to try to make a couple more cuts on this small piece, get that sliced up before moving on to those large elm logs. So I hope you guys found this a little bit helpful, this assembly and some rough setup of the Granberg Alaskan chainsaw mill. It doesn't matter what size you have, the setup and assembly is going to be basically the same thing. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. So guys, really quick, while you're watching me saw into these elm logs, you may notice that I have a larger bar now on my saw than when I started, and that is because I did not account for the distance that you lose on either end when you clamp the bar into the mill. I started off with a 24-inch bar, which is plenty to go through these logs, but I did not factor in that I was going to lose several inches up here and at least an inch or so down at this end, and that is just to account for the clamps that clamp to the bar. Now you can't clamp your bar all the way at the end because you're going to pinch the sprocket out here, so you need to at least be back here a few inches past the end of the sprocket and then about an inch or so down at this end. So when you are trying to determine what size bar you're going to need, make sure that you add at least 6 inches just to be safe and get a bar that size. That way you'll have room to accommodate the clamping mechanisms and make up for the distance that you're going to lose when you clamp the mill in here. Something I completely overlooked at the beginning. After reading on the Granberg website in their FAQ section, it does say that you will lose about 4 inches. I just didn't look that far into it, so I want to mention it to you guys. If you're looking to do something like that, make sure you plan for those inches and get a bar big enough to accommodate that. Also, a quick safety reminder, you'll notice that I am wearing chainsaw chaps. It's very important. Please be safe when working with stuff like this. Bad things can happen really quick, so work safe, have fun. This is going to be really fun and I'm going to enjoy this. Wow. Nice. So cool. Step number 1. We got to attach something to the other thing with some bolts. Ah, dang. The battery's dying. Hang on, I gotta get a new battery.